Society live on this Wednesday night. My name is David Morrison. I am the Vols Society analyst right here on the Vols Society Network. Starting a little later tonight than normal, we had a dinner tonight at my home church, so enjoyed that. And like I said, don't get to do it a whole lot, so that's why I kind of started a little later. But we're glad that you've joined in fellowship tonight with all Vol fans together. While I was at the church dinner tonight, a lot of people was asking about Vol Society Live, asking, where do I follow Vol Society Live? What's all this hype about Vol Society Live? I mean, we heard that the chancellor at the University of Tennessee watches your show. It's this simple. Facebook.com/UT Vol Society is your number one place for all Vol Society news and notes. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, we have a YouTube channel. Just search for us on Vol Society right there. Like and subscribe. Share the video, whether you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube. Spread the love out and show that this is the Vol Society. We are proud members of the Vol Society. And like I said, if you have any questions, we're live. The chat room is open. Our founder, Brad, is already saying, go Vols. And just ask questions. Oh, we got D's in the building. David D's in the house. Another member of the Vol Society crew. Speaking of Vol Society crew, I'll go ahead and tell this quick story, then we'll do the rundown tonight. My cousin and a fellow member of the Vol Society, Mark Swain, these says good week for the Vols. Absolutely. My cousin Mark, who's also a member of the Vol Society, went to the Big Orange Caravan in Memphis where he lives, and he got to meet Coach Josh Heupel, Coach Rick Barnes, Coach Kelly Harper, Dr. Danny White, Steve Hammer, Jason Swain, a few other VFLs. So really cool that he wanted us to share that story. He said he had a great time at the Big Orange Caravan. He said a wonderful time, and definitely every Vol fan should experience it. I know they do it in the spring. They kind of do it on weeknights, so it's a little harder for a lot of other Vol fans to do it, but they do it every year in Chattanooga, Nashville, Memphis. I think Atlanta's another city they do it. So definitely a cool experience, and thank you to Mark for wanting to share that story for us. Like I said, and if you have any, and Brad says he saw the pics, definitely a great event. And if any UUT fans go to these meet and greets, whether it's the Big Orange Caravan or some of these autograph signings, and you want to share pictures on our Facebook page, go right ahead. You know, we will gladly accept that. Matter of fact, Saturday afternoon at Orange Mountain Designs in Alcoa, Tennessee, the Lady Vols is doing a autograph signing up there from, I think, 12 to 2, and they got food trucks, and of course, they're going to be selling Lady Vols merchandise up there. So definitely, if you're in the Alcoa, Maryville, Blount County area, go support these Lady Vols and tell them how much we support them. All right, let's do. Brad says to Mark, please share the pictures if it's all right with you with your trip. All right, so got a lot to talk about. We will recap the Auburn series. This past weekend, Tennessee took 2 or 3 games from the Tigers, still winning games and still have the number one ranking for another week in the D1 baseball polls and really every baseball poll in America. We'll preview Kentucky, tell you when you can catch the Big Orange. Matter of fact, the Tennessee baseball team played Alabama A&M last night, picked up another big win there. We also talk about the transfer portal. Big week for the Vols, as Mr. D says. Mccoy, Andre Turrentine or Turrentine, however you say his name, we'll learn it when he gets up there. 2 big players from the transfer portal coming to the University of Tennessee this fall in 2 positions that we desperately need. We will also talk about the renovations at Neyland Stadium. We've kind of mentioned it a little bit on the show from time to time, but never really went in full detail and shown you pictures. So I'll turn on the split screen later on the program, kind of show you what the future of Neyland Stadium is going to look like in the near future. And it's definitely an eye-opener, and you're going to get a preview of some of it this upcoming football season. And one picture I am going to show is where the biggest improvement at Neyland Stadium is going to be at, in my opinion. So definitely look forward to it. All right, let's go ahead and dive into baseball. Kind of a little ill-prepared here tonight, so I'm going to be reading some of this off my phone instead of my normal notes due to prior commitment. But Friday night, Tennessee took on Auburn. Start the weekend series at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Great crowd on hand, over 4,500. Tennessee took on Auburn. Like I said, they were up 2-0 at the end of the second inning. But then Auburn came back. Brad says, wonder if we get another surprise visit tonight from the one and only Dante Plowman. That would be awesome. Going to the top of the sixth, Tennessee gave up 4 runs, down 4-2. But then Tennessee was not out of it. Going into the bottom of the 7th inning, I think the Vols were a little mad. I think so. They scored 8 runs in the 7th inning, including a grand slammy. Big grand slam in that inning by Jarrell Ortega. Hello to my grandparents watching along, tuning in. And then, so Tennessee now up 10-4 going into the bottom of the 8th inning. They added 7 more runs in the bottom of the 8th. Unreal. You know, like I said, this team has just been amazing to watch each and every weekend, especially like, you know, it's just, and Brad says it correctly, this baseball team is absolutely unreal. 7 runs in the bottom of the 8th and end up winning this game 17-4. Like I said, you know, Mark McLaughlin picked up the win to go to 2-0 on the year. Just an unbelievable night for the Tennessee baseball team. All right, Saturday, Tennessee dropped to the Auburn Tigers 8-6. Tennessee had an early lead, but then Auburn pretty much just dominated in the 5th inning and the 9th inning. Fell 8-6 in that one. Like I said, Tennessee tried to make a bit of a comeback in it. It was a good game overall, but just didn't have it that night. Like I said before, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I know we've enjoyed this wonderful win-loss streak going on for Tennessee. But it seems like sometimes our fan base gets a little too personal with these losses. And at times it's great that we're taking these losses personally. And I know the team definitely does. But let's take a step back and calm down. It is baseball. Like I said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Let's you know, the world's not crashing down for just one loss. But unfortunately dropped that game on Saturday. But Tennessee rebounded nicely on Sunday. Picked up a 5-3 win. Ben Joyce was the star of the show on Sunday. Throws the fastest pitch in college baseball history at 105.5 miles an hour. 105 miles an hour. That is, his pitch is faster than a NASCAR race car going around Bristol Motor Speedway. I mean, it is unbelievable. Let me see what Brad says. Chat room is kind of being a little funky here. Might highlight it here. 105.5, yeah. I mean, just unbelievable. Like I said, I mean, there's some pitchers in Major League Baseball that doesn't even reach that velocity. I mean, it's just unreal to see what Ben Joyce is doing this year. And he picked up the win on Sunday. Tennessee ended up, like I said, winning that one 5-3 on Sunday. Like I said, some highlights. Trey Lipscomb hit another home run in that game in the 1st inning. And then just Tennessee kind of played more reserve players on Sunday. Jordan Beck hit a homer in the 8th. But like I said, just a nice win overall, nice weekend for the Tennessee Volunteers as we head into Kentucky. Like I said, Tennessee played Alabama A&M yesterday, 14-1 win. Not much of a contest in that one. Usually these weekend games are not. Beck with a home run in that one. Kyle Booker hit one in the 4th inning. Seems like he always hits home runs in the midweek games, which is good to see, and definitely can't wait to see him be in that weekend rotation next year, or weekend lineup next year since he's still a younger player. But yeah, nice win for the Vols. Now we get ready for Kentucky, hitting the road this weekend. This is a Thursday through Saturday series, kind of a one of two Tennessee's going to be playing here in the next couple of weeks. The other one will be the Georgia series. But Tennessee heading to Lexington Thursday night to play Kentucky, 7 o'clock on the SEC network. So we'll be on the regular old school SEC channel. And then Friday and Saturday's games will be on the SEC Plus. I have to pull your up. Oh, never mind. For some reason, chat room's not letting me see all your comments, so I may have to pop up on the screen if that's okay. But anyways, so like I said, Friday and Saturday's games will be on SEC Network Plus. Thursday's game will be 7 o'clock, like I said, on the SEC Network. Friday night, 6:30. Sunday at 2. And then, like I said, Vols Society will be at the Tennessee-Georgia baseball game on Saturday, May the 14th. I will be there. I will bring some exclusive content on our Vols Society Facebook page on our stories. So definitely check a look at that when we go up there here in a couple of weeks. Very excited. This will be my first Tennessee baseball game, so definitely looking forward to it. Been some great crowds throughout the week. Matter of fact, mentioned I went to the church dinner. One of our church members went to a couple of games over the weekend for her birthday. So definitely it is the hottest ticket in town. Brad said, I bet you'll meet I bet you and Dondi will be there. It would be amazing to meet her and get her pitch. That'd be awesome too. And Dante Plowman, she takes a lot of pictures with fans. I've noticed just kind of her social media pages and stuff. Very approachable in a great way. So definitely looking forward to that. Coming up on May 14th, Vols Society will be at the Tennessee-Georgia game. All right, switching over to football. Really quick here. Here we go. So the big news came out Tuesday night. Brew Mccoy commits to the University of Tennessee, former USC wide receiver. We mentioned him, I guess 2-3 weeks ago on Vols Society Live. I mentioned that he was finishing up his classes at USC, wanted to take his finals, and then go ahead and make his commitment. He's been linked to Tennessee for a while now, and he made it official late Tuesday night. So very excited that he is coming to the University of Tennessee. Definitely looking forward to see what he does. Going to be lined up right beside Cedric Tillman. You're also going to have Jalen Hyatt in this wide receiver room, plus a lot of the freshmen. So definitely a big pickup for them. Oh yeah, we'll talk about the NFL draft here in a second here with our a little bit later, as I mentioned. Another commit, former Ohio State defensive back, Andre Turrentine. Hope I'm saying that's right. Another guy that has been linked to Tennessee for a little while from Ohio State. Matter of fact, he played high school football in the state of Tennessee. Went and played for the Buckeyes for a year. Matter of fact, he ended up playing, Andre Turrentine ended up playing in Ohio State's spring game and had over 100 snaps. And that was just a month ago. And like I said, he hit the transfer portal and came to Tennessee. And I can't wait to see what he's going to bring, especially losing Alontae Taylor to the NFL draft. Congratulations to him. He got drafted, and I'll mention where he went in a moment. But you have him. You're going to have Warren Burrell, Brandon Turnage, Kamal Haddon. So definitely all these guys are going to be battling for those corner positions. Safeties is, I wouldn't say a lock right now, but it's going to be interesting to see where everybody is going to fit in. Brad says, if anyone was worried about Heupel recruiting, are you still worried? So many good things happening for this program. Absolutely. Definitely excited about the future at Tennessee. Like I said, we have these big-time high school recruits coming in. Still plenty more to come in the summer. Looking at you, Carnell Tate. And Now with the transfer portal, we had Andre Turrentine commit, Baruch McCoy, had a kid from Georgia Tech just committed recently. So this roster is starting to take shape. And I mentioned last week that May 1st was the cutoff date for the transfer portal if you wanted to play in the 2022 academic year. And now we're starting to see that happen. Dumpling in the building. Hello. Hey. We're having a class reunion tonight here on Vols Society Live. Very cool. So yeah, I'm excited about this team. I'm excited about these players coming in, like I said, via transfer portal. And we're seeing, like I said, the foundation be laid out. And this year, I think it's going to be a fun year, especially having Hendon Hooker back at quarterback. Running back room is looking really good. I'm excited to see what Justin Williams, the freshman, is going to do. Especially, I mean, you still got Jalen Ryan, Jabari Small. I think you're going to be your 1-2 combo, but having Justin Williams as that number 3 can really add some dividends there. And then, like I said, the wide receiver room is just absolutely loaded right now. I already mentioned with Tillman and McCoy and all the others, 9 and what's the other one there? 9. Brad says 9 wins on the year. Sticking with it. I'm still kind of looking at 8. Possibly could get to 9. I don't see Tennessee losing no more than 8. Or winning. Right. I don't see a 7-5 season. I should say. Let me clarify that. My wording there. But like I said, it's definitely a lot of hype, a lot of momentum, a lot of excitement up at University of Tennessee for this football program that we've been desperately needing for years. Like I said, even with recruiting. And, I know the transfer portal has been a hot topic in college football. Some of the opinions I do agree with. But you take a look at where our program was at the tail end of Cornbread's tenure to where we are now with Josh Heupel, and definitely the coaching staff has been a big part of the rebuilding. But I think the transfer portal has been an answered blessing for this football team. You look at it last year, having Dejon Terry, Caleb Trimley, and just all the others, Javonte Payton, and then Tyjon Evans for just a few weeks there. But it really turned that program around, and what was supposed to be maybe a 4-8 season ended up a 7-5 season. And then blowing out teams like South Carolina, who had a pretty good first year under their new head coach, and blowing out Missouri, and then almost defeating the eventual ACC champion Pittsburgh Panthers. I mean, just unreal. And switching gears right now, the NFL draft was this past weekend. Tennessee had 5 players drafted this weekend, more than Florida, more than Auburn, more than Kentucky, more than South Carolina. I mean, the only other teams that was higher ranked as far as draft picks goes in the SEC was the usual suspects: Georgia, LSU, Georgia, LSU, Alabama, and Ole Miss, and then Tennessee was 5th in the SEC as far as draft picks goes. And I texted Brad over the weekend. I said, we got more draft picks than Florida, and that's a I guess you can call a moral victory there. But Alontae Taylor was selected by the New Orleans Saints in the 2nd round. Very happy he got a 2nd round pick. I didn't think we would get one, but happy for Alontae. Velus Jones Jr. going in the 3rd round to the Chicago Bears. Matthew Butler going to the Las Vegas Raiders. And then Brad's excited about Cade Mays coming to the Carolina Panthers. Brad is a season ticket holder for the Panthers. And just, I know he's very excited. And then I'm a Titans fan, so when we got Theo Jackson drafted, I was very excited. And it just proves that how much has changed in 1 year, at the University of Tennessee with 5 players drafted. Like I said, Matthew Butler was just kind of another name on the team, but really had a great season working with Rodney Garner, the D-line coach, Tim Banks, the defensive coordinator, Josh Heupel, the head coach. I mean, just really developed him into a great player. Velus Jones Jr. really emerged big time. He was going to be a Brad says, wish me luck next week. I'm playing in the Ole Miss alumni golf tournament out here in Charlotte. I say I would not donate, but I will give a golf ball. Very nice. Very, very nice. That's why I would love Brad on here. He's got more jokes than I do. But, Velus Jones Jr. has really emerged very well. Also, and I can't wait to see what next year's going to develop. With Tillman going in there, Hendon Hooker, so many others. Just going to be very exciting to see. And then the future looks very great for next year. This doesn't really tie with Tennessee, but I saw that yesterday. Pittsburgh wide receiver Jordan Addison hit the transfer portal. He kind of torched us last year, and of course we get to play Pitt again. I'm now taking that Tennessee win over Pitt. I was 50-50 with it. I'm now saying it's a win. Definitely looking forward to it. All right. That kind of covers football. The main part of the show I want to talk about, the rest, is the renovations at Neyland Stadium. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the share screen. Let's see if I can remember how to do this here. Hey, there we go. All right. So this is a small picture. I apologize. But this dark room right here, if you can see where my mouse is, that is the south end zone concourse at Neyland Stadium. That's what it looks like. It's very dark. It's very bland. This is where my section is. The only thing that's been added is this Dunkin' Donuts sign right here. Now, I love Neyland Stadium. Best college football stadium in the U.S. But there are some major renovations that need to be done. And this is, to me, the biggest one for me as a fan that I want to see is these bathrooms and this concourse look a little bit better. And we're getting that fairly soon. I'm excited about it. Now, go ahead and remove this. Go back to full screen, and I'm going to show you more of the renovations going on. Let's see if I can remember how to do this really quick here. All right. All right. All right. Hope you can see this. This is the future of Neyland Stadium. So for those who are not familiar with how Neyland Stadium is laid out, right here is where the Vol Walk takes place. This is the road, even though it's kind of a little bit not the exact how it's laid out, the road-wise, but the premise of it is this is where the Vol Walk takes place right in front of Neyland Drive. This is Gate 10, the former Gate 10. If you know where Neyland Stadium is, there is a big ramp that goes into the stadium. That is all going to be gone here in the next few years, and it's just going to be open, an open entry right here. So for those who sits in goes through Gate 10s, who sits in sections like L through R, or excuse me, no, well, R is part of that, but going up to even the student section around this way, you won't have to go into this gate anymore. This is all going to be open in the near future. I'm excited about it, because that is a very steep ramp right through here. There's also, right now they got some I wouldn't call it parking, but like some little RV generator parking right through here where they set up they've been doing like a little mini tailgate party, have food trucks. Food trucks normally park right down here. And then also the team buses come in this way too, right down this ramp. And it is a very steep ramp too. And all that's going to be gone too. So this is all going to be open. Renovations are desperately needed. What Brad said, and I agree. I'm excited about this because, like I said, these are the two steepest areas entering into Neyland Stadium. Like I said, you had this big ramp coming into Neyland Stadium, and then you had a very steep ramp going into the bottom part of the stadium. Like I said, the visiting team buses and charter buses come into this area. Now they're going to be parked somewhere else. I'm not sure where it's at, but this is going to flow a lot more fans into the stadium for ball games, and it is desperately needed. Definitely, and I'm excited about that. All right, let's pull up this next slide right here. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Okay. Next slide. I feel like I'm doing a PowerPoint presentation. Yes, this is the new Jumbotron in the north end zone. For those who, once again, not familiar, Tennessee only has one Jumbotron or one big scoreboard in the stadium, and that is on the south side. It's very popular. Like I said, and for people that sits in the north end zone, that's where the team runs out of the tee. That's the north end zone. The visiting side is the south end zone. If you sit in the north end zone, you can look straight ahead at the Jumbotron, no problems. If you're on the sidelines, no problems. If you're in that south end zone, you always have to turn your head and crank around and see what the score is. I mean, they have the LED banners around the stadium. That's what I usually look at, and you can see kind of right there is what it looks like. But now, if you're sitting in the south end zone, next to near the Pride of the Southland band going around that side, there will be a Jumbotron right here. And that cuts out a lot of seats up in this. I can't remember. It's like double X, double Y. It looks really cool. Steak, thank you for joining us. That's going to be awesome, Neyland. What is the number now? Like it used to be 102,455. I heard the number is going to be under 100,000, but it's not going to be like a dramatic change. Probably going to be like 99,700, I think. I mean, I know we don't get the 100,000 anymore, but the reality of the situation is because of how we performed the last 15 years, along with kind of the high, the rising of ticket prices and the addition of cable channels and stuff like that, it's a lot of, we've had a hard time selling out 100,000 fans. Even our most popular games like Florida and Alabama, we may get to that 100,000 section, but unfortunately, a lot of the visiting tickets have been being sold. So they kind of cut down the renovations. And Brad says he's okay with that. It needs to be comfortable for the fans. And I agree with that. Brad topped in. I was at a Panthers game with them, and it was nice and comfortable with the two things. And Steak's agreeing with me. Our stadium doesn't get that full that many times anyway. Yeah. The Ole Miss game did sell out last year, 102,455. And then prior to that, I think it was maybe one of the another Checker Neyland games. Like the Checker Neyland games, they usually sell out, and that's cool and all. But the rest of them have been kind of a struggle to even. There's even at times like we're barely getting 75,000. So, yeah, it's cool to have that 100,000 name moniker on, to roll off the tongue and be proud of it. But you want these fans to be comfortable. So right down here in this concourse, underneath the Jumbotron, that's going to be the new party deck. Now, I'm not a alcoholic drinker per se, but for those who want to kind of have that sports bar atmosphere, that's right there. Johnny Billings in the house. He says wins matters the most. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think we're going to get a lot of wins in the near future. So this is the new party deck thing. You can eat and drink up here. It's cool to have in there. A lot of NFL stadiums have it. Brad mentioned, we went to watch the Carolina Panthers and Atlanta Falcons last December. A lot of NFL stadiums have it. It's cool. Steak says there's nothing like the energy at Neyland. The atmosphere is out of the world. It's going to be better with Josh Hyatt there too. Yeah, definitely. I'm excited about the future, and like I said, it's just going to make Neyland look a lot better. And I know for me being in the south end zone where most of my seats are throughout the season, this is a game changer right here. And I kind of had that firsthand experience last year in Charlotte for the Panthers game and kind of looking, at the two Jumbotrons, and that's definitely going to be a big factor, especially those in that south end zone where I know a lot of people sit in that section. All right, so we will remove this. Go to slide 4 in the PowerPoint presentation. This ain't much of a picture. It's just kind of from that party deck area of what it's going to look like going into Neyland Stadium. And that's in this area right here before the renovations. That's a very high area. I've set up in this seats before for Alabama, and yeah, it's a nosebleed right there. Johnny says first time season ticket holders sad about the renovations, but winning is what keeps me coming back. Yeah, absolutely, and I hope you get to enjoy the season. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I definitely will be up there this year too. So, like I said, that's just kind of from that party deck area, what you kind of like I said, you get to see the game, and it looks like a cool atmosphere. I don't know if I would, for me personally, go do it all the time, but I know a lot of people will take that amenities there. If they got good concession stands and good bathrooms, I'll probably definitely go up there. All right. All right, final slide here. If I can remember where it is at. And I don't have it. What is this? Okay, yeah, I do. This is another idea that they had up here. I mentioned where the fans are coming in, so this is going to be another little tailgate area. They kind of started it last year, but it was just like food vendor trucks and nothing much to brag about. But they're going to put like some picnic tables right here, so if you want to go do some tailgating and stuff. And these pictures of these players are going to be up here now. It's probably not the exact ones. Oh, my goodness. Chancellor Plowman is back on. Hey, hello. That's awesome. Steak says near the river is the tallest part of the stadium, I think. Looking down will make you dizzy. Yes, definitely so. But I'm excited about these renovations. Like I said, for me personally, I'm going to turn this off here, get back full screen. I think the Concord inside in that south end zone really needs it badly. Like I said, some of the bathrooms are dated. The concessions are pretty old. And that's the one thing I really want to see. I know the east side lines, they had the more updated renovations from 10 years ago. And they're very nice in there. The upper deck and the double letters, double M, double N, double A. They're a little older too. So like I said, you're not gonna get this all done in 1 year. But you definitely will. You will definitely see the improvements coming on. Johnny says my expectations are higher, but I'm cautiously optimistic. Brad says, "How's your chance to ask if she will be at the game Saturday?" That'd be cool. Johnny says 5-0 against Alabama is my hope. Wow, that's a pretty cool tall order right there. I'll just say this: if we go 5-0 going into that Alabama game, there's a very, very high chance College Game Day will be coming back to Knoxville for that one, and I hope that's the case. That would be very awesome. Like I said, I mentioned this a lot of times in our streams. I really think this is the year to beat Florida. I know a lot of people's talking about Anthony Richardson, their quarterback, he's a scrambling quarterback, and Tennessee struggled with scrambling quarterbacks. But to me, this year, it's Billy Napier's first year trying to get this team figured out. And they got a tall task week 1 as they're taking on Utah in the Swamp. And Utah's probably going to be one of the favorites to win the Pac-12 this year. Once again, saying 9 wins this year, and I will be very happy. So, like I said, Florida gets battle tested in week 1 against Utah. Like I said, I actually taken the Utes to win that one, and then Pittsburgh. Brad says, and we're definitely beating Florida. Mark my word. I agree. And Pittsburgh, who's our week 2 opponent, they're opening the season at home against West Virginia in the renewal of the backyard brawl. Once again, I expect Pittsburgh's going to be battle tested early on, especially a intense rivalry game. How much steam do they still have left when we go up to Heinz Field in week 2? And that's the thing is I'll ask the question to the Vols Society. Even though we have no says in the scheduling, Would you rather open up the season with a group of 5 opponent or a cupcake opponent, or do you want to go ahead and get battle tested and play a Power 5 opponent? Because we've been on both ends of that, in the last decade plus. I mean, remember a few years ago we played Georgia Tech in the Georgia Dome in the Chick-fil-A game and had to go to overtime to beat them. And of course, last year we played Bowling Green, and Brad says battle tested. I just saw Steak's comment. It says Mrs. Swain event in the mornings. Oh, yeah. I wish I can listen along with y'all in the mornings. Unfortunately, I'm walking around with my job and can't really get to a radio. So Brad says go ahead and get battle tested early on. That's an interesting. And Johnny says give me a good team every time. So seems like go ahead and get that game out of the way. And I can see that. And like I said, I mean, if it was up to me, we would probably play Power 5 opponents every week. I know that would be a grueling schedule. Steak says he wants the easy game first. Okay, yeah, I mean that's a cool little debate right there. It's like more recently, well, most of the time we always schedule an easy game, but every once in a while we get that neutral site game, whether it's a Georgia Tech, a West Virginia, Matter of fact, the year we won the national championship, we went to the Carrier Dome in week 1 and had to squeak one out. And first games are tricky. Absolutely. I mean, for me as a fan, I get nervous with like teams like Georgia and Florida and Alabama. But those week 1 games, even like a team we're playing this year, Ball State, you don't know what you're going to get. I mean, lo and behold, who would have thought we would have lost to Georgia State week 1? You just never know. I mean, they are tricky. And like I said, it's just all about the preparation. Oh, yeah. Since we got some fans on here, let's talk about the podcast. Anyone to see that for the football side? Yeah. So we got a lot of viewers in here tonight, and thank you. That's very awesome that we got a great number tonight. So what we're planning on doing in the summer, and we mentioned this the last few weeks, going into football season, we are going to start up a Vols Society podcast. So it will be myself, Brad Frank, David Dees, any other members of the Vols Society that we can get some free time. We're going to talk about, Tennessee athletics, kind of like what I'm doing Wednesday night, except there's going to be more voices, more opinions, more debates, and like I said, more humor. Like I said, Brad is a lot more comedic than I am. If you've seen his videos, you know how energetic he is in his posts. So that would be really, I'm all for it. And like I said, Brad said, anyone can join and be our guest. The more, the better. Absolutely. Like I said, if you are interested, please reach out to us and definitely do good. Definitely will help us out and draw some interest. Steak says we have a great quarterback now. I trust Hooker a lot more than JG. Yeah, definitely. And by the way, how in the world did Jared Garantano, bless his heart, how in the world did he get an NFL free agent signing from the Arizona Cardinals? Now, I don't expect him to start in the season, but it's like, have you seen his performance? Oh, well. Grant Brown says, I'll be interested, just don't want to put too much work on anyone. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I think it's probably going to be kind of weekly. What we're going to do, like I said, we want it to be lighthearted, almost kind of similar. Like we're all in a backyard. Let's say Brad's deck at his house, and we're all sitting around talking about Tennessee football, drinking a cold one or whatever. It's going to be kind of a very relaxed atmosphere. We want it to be lighthearted. We want it to make you laugh, but also give you some information about Tennessee football or any other Tennessee athletics. And like I said, definitely we're very interested in doing that coming up. Johnny says, how people keep giving him chances, I'll never understand. I know it. He's a cat with 9 lives, and I think he's used about 7 now. But, best of luck to JG with the Cardinals. Obviously, he's not going to be Kyler Murray. I don't know if he can beat the water boy at this point, but may the force be with you on May the 4th for Jared Garantano. Anyways, Brad says he'll never understand anything about JG. Yeah, that Kentucky game bout wore Brad out. Steak says these Carolina fans are pumped up for their new quarterback Spencer Ratliff. I think he will fail. I hope so. Yeah, I mentioned this before too. I think South Carolina is going to be kind of the media darling. I said stop it. I think South Carolina is going to be the media darling this year. As far as like, look what they did last year, and now here comes Spencer Rattler from Oklahoma, and here comes their tight end, and they could rise to the East and challenge Georgia. I don't think so, Tay. I think they're probably going to be a lot overhyped, and we're about to hit preseason magazine season pretty soon. Which, by the way, I don't know why my local grocery store took out their magazine racks, but that's another rant on my own personal opinion. But we're about to have that pretty soon, and yeah, you're going to see a lot about South Carolina. You'll get some stuff from Tennessee and obviously Georgia and the usual suspects. But yeah, I think South Carolina is going to get overhyped this year. Johnny says South Carolina's overrated. Brad says, I hope Garantano he wants to see it. It will be interesting if he does make that roster. Great Brown says Big Hill decline for South Carolina to be top 3 with Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, maybe Florida. Unsure about Florida. Yeah, I agree. Kentucky's going to be another team that's going to be hyped up a lot this year too. I should have mentioned them too. They're bringing back quite a few people. Will Levis, Chris Rodriguez, the first two that come to mind. Yeah, Florida, I don't know much about. I know Anthony Richardson is going to be probably their starter. He did well for them at times. But like I said, this new playbook coming in Gainesville, just don't really know. Georgia, like I said, they lost 15 draft picks. I still think they're going to be top in the East. They're still going to be fine. They still kind of need to figure out if Stedman Bailey's their quarterback. But I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. Hyped up because South Carolina has such a low bar. Yeah. Brad says, I know 2 things. We get 9 wins and we beat Florida this year. Take a screenshot and frame this. It's happening. We will. Like I said, I feel confident about beating Florida. 9 wins, it could happen. It could definitely happen. Like I said, just we'll learn. I kind of had South Carolina as a loss, but we'll definitely learn a lot about South Carolina when we play them. I think it's November 19th. So that's right before our final game of the year. So we'll definitely know a lot about them. Like I said, we beat them bad last year at Neyland Stadium. I mean, that game was over in the first quarter. Although I guess it did kind of make a small comeback, but it wasn't really worth bragging about. But it's definitely like I said, I'm definitely excited about to see what this team's going to look like next year, and with the renovations going on, and it's just going to be a different Tennessee feel. You sound like a fellow Vol fan. I argue often. JT Talent. Well, yes. Grant Brown. Oh man, we're going quick now. Grant Brown says, if we're going to win some tight games this year, didn't really do that last year. 9 wins can happen if we do. But we won't blow 9 teams out. Yeah, it's going to be tough to blow them out. Schedule is too tough. Brad says, can't wait till football. Haven't been to a game there since 2010. I might have to get a chance to go there. Yeah, definitely. If you can, that'd be awesome. Yes, and the schedule is going to be – it is a tough schedule. John says, got a ticket for you, Brian. Very nice. Like I said, remember off the top of my head what the schedule is. Ball State should be an easy blowout win. It's on a Thursday night. Thankfully, it's a 7 o'clock kickoff and not an 8 o'clock kickoff. But that was exhausting coming back into town at 1 in the morning. You go to Pittsburgh week 2. Yeah, Kenny Pickett's gone, and now Jordan Addison, their wide receiver, hit the transfer portal. I don't really know much about Keaton Slovis. He might do something, but I expect Tennessee to go up there and pick up a win. Week 3, who do we get week 3? I'm trying to remember. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, well, I can't remember now. And there it goes. But Florida comes up. Maybe that's Florida. So, so we got somebody between there and Florida. Akron. Yeah, I just now remember. Yeah, Akron should be an easy win. And then Florida should be a win. That's going to be a very hyped up game. Brad says, let's do the last game I went to. was right before I went out to Los Angeles. Okay. Johnny says he's running quarterback. I feel good. Okay. So yeah, like I said, Florida, that's going to be a very hyped up game. There's going to be a lot of fans going to be there that weekend. Hopefully it's a night game or a 3:30 CBS game. Yeah, like I said, Florida's going to be battle tested in week one with Utah. Then they kind of get a cupcake game before us, and then, like I said, we'll already be battle tested from Pitt, and I'm excited to. I'm excited about that game. I think it's going to be a fantastic afternoon, evening at Neyland Stadium, and I expect Tennessee to roll into LSU undefeated at 4-0. Going down to Baton Rouge, and we get a bye week after that Florida game, so that's even better. Also, Johnny Billings, he must be right. Going into Baton Rouge, we get that bye week, so we'll get, if we do get the win, and I think we will, so we get that celebration out of us. Then we'll focus on LSU and Brian Kelly and the family down in Baton Rouge. I don't really know much what to expect from LSU. Really don't know who their starting quarterback is going to be. Josh Pate says probably going to be Max Johnson, who will be starting. I know they picked up Jaden Daniels in the transfer portal. So who knows? I mean, they kind of got some questions they need to be asked too. So who knows what's going to happen? Then you get Alabama at home. Bama is tough. I'm not going to drink too much Kool-Aid on that. Brad says, couldn't agree more. Florida game says it all. Absolutely. Like I said, you get Bama. Then after Bama, your schedule kind of eases up somewhat. I mean, Georgia's still in the play. You got to go down to Athens to play them. Not much to expect there. But the rest of the SEC East is very winnable. Missouri, who knows what's going on with Eli Drinkowich and that team. South Carolina, we'll learn a lot about them even when we go down to Columbia and play them. Vanderbilt, I'm excited about going to Vanderbilt and selling out their stadium with orange and white Tennessee fans instead of the Vandy fans that never shows up except for baseball. That's going to be fun to see. And then UT Martin's in that schedule too. So this should be a very fun season. And Brad says, boys, I'm getting geek. Can't wait for some football. And like I said, we're right now May the 4th, and we're getting close to. Steak asks, are you on Facebook too? Yes, we are. We are at facebook.com/UT Vols Society. I'll put that up there. Like I said, over 5,000 and growing. That's where a lot of our news and notes. So when a commit announces he's coming to Tennessee or any other Tennessee athletic news, most of the time we put it on our Facebook page. So that's where we're at. You'll see the profile picture up there in our corner. You'll see that. And so definitely give us a follow on facebook.com/UT Vols Society. Oh, I guess we've gone 50 minutes in this show. This has been fantastic. Everybody tuning in tonight. Like I said, started a little later than normal, but that's all good. I think we've covered a lot. We got a lot of optimism about Tennessee athletics going into the next year. Thank you, Dr. Danny White. Thank you to Chancellor Plowman. Johnny says keep going. Yeah, we definitely will keep it going. Like I said, thank you for everybody just supporting us. It's been a very humbling experience. Been around going on 2 years now. I've been here for a year. I'm very touched and humbled for just people just want to sit down and watch me ramble on about Tennessee athletics for 30 minutes or an hour or whatever. It's been a lot of fun, and you have helped this channel grow and this network grow, and we got a lot of exciting things in 2022. Some stuff we've kind of announced, some stuff we're about to announce. It's been fun. Thank you, Grant, for tuning in. Taking his daughter to bed, and definitely thank you for everybody tuning in. We will have a show next week, and then the week of Mother's Day week, we will not have a show. I'm going to be taking a vacation down to unfortunately, Florida Gator country, but the beaches are nice in Florida. I'll just say that. And thank you, Brad. So, like I said, we will have a show next week. Then I'm going to take a little vacation, and you're welcome, Steak. And then, like I said, we'll keep on rolling. We'll continue to bring more content on Vols Society on our Facebook page. And, like I said, and we'll continue to have the show on YouTube. And like I said, some exciting stuff coming along, Tennessee related, football related, just some cool stuff coming on the horizon. Just continue to follow along for the latest. So I'm going to be done talking right now. I'm going to call it a night. And like I said, thank you for everybody tuning in to Vols Society Live. Until next week, this has been David Morrison saying have a great night. And as always, go Vols.